We'll pull back the curtain a little bit here. There's a reason why I was gone the previous week. I might be gone a couple of more days coming up during the summertime. I don't know how many people know this, Pauly, about you. Have you ever said this on the air?
Yes.
You're adopted?
Yes, yes. I'm adopted. My sister's adopted. I don't know. I guess apparently my dad's boys couldn't swim. I don't know. And it always goes back to the when I was a kid growing up. I'm like, why is the door locked? What's going on? Oh, God. Mom and dad. But, yeah, couldn't get it done.
Good
but
start.
John Lennon, Ray Liotta, Marilyn Monroe, Nelson Mandela, Jack Nicholson, yours truly, adopted. I had no desire, none, to meet my real mother.
Is that why?
That's how I felt.
Okay.
I felt it would be a disservice to my actual mom,
who
did
totally
a great
loved.
job. Yep,
She was amazing.
My sister couldn't wait to do it, and I thought it was a slap in the face to my mother. Now, to each their own, and then my sister actually was let down. I can't stand my sister; she never shuts up. But she. And also, she met her real mom, and her mom was exactly like her. I go, there you go, in your face.
Yeah.
How does that taste?
Makes a lot of sense now.
But I just never felt that way because I'm sure it would be emotional for my actual birth mother who couldn't provide the life that she wanted and had to give me up for adoption. And she would write letters and tried to stay in touch. And my mom at one point cut her off, just saying, no more. Gave her the matumbo. No more pictures, no more. That's it. And I'm sure it'd be emotional for her to see, hey, I felt bad about it. If we would meet one day, for me, it wouldn't do anything. Just be like, okay, you're Kate Allen. Let's say that's her name.
You're another person.
You're just another person to me.
Yeah.
It's
probably different for everybody, like you said.
Sure,
Yeah.
but I would feel nothing. It had no desire to meet my actual birth mom.
Yeah, if you take me back, 15, 16, 17 years ago, I never wanted to get married. I never wanted to have kids. And then here we are today, and let me tell you, the adoption process, my wife and I were in it for a good 18 months, and it's like nothing forever. And then you have this conversation about, well, we're getting up there now in age. At some point, when do we pull the plug on this thing? Because I don't want to be 74 years old going to a kid's high school baseball game. And then all of a sudden, it goes back to last week, I'm in bed Sunday night, in bed. Lorraine gets a phone call. You guys might want to buckle your seatbelts. She had to come in and tell me about this. I get home on Monday morning. It's 7:40 local time. The adoption consultant calls Lorraine, and Lorraine answers the phone, and she goes, "Hi, Mom." And Lorraine just broke down immediately, came rushing in, and that's how the day started after we were off the air. And it's like, this child is yours. And so we just had to, at that point, it's like you go from 0 to ludicrous speed in 1.2 seconds. And your life is flat. It's just like, okay, this is a total game changer now. And then you're prepping, you got to leave, go do all this stuff. But you're right. That's, my wife and I tried to have kids. We've been married since 2010 this is another story altogether. We got tested. That story I can't tell on the air. You have to go see if your boys can swim, right?
Me either. Oh, I tried with Megabucks too. I wanted that paycheck.
Of course you did. Why would you not?
I completed the transaction so many times, and I couldn't do it. And it's I feel like a failure because also it was on the line, $12 million.
Right, of course. You got to score there.
Because that's when her mom came to me and it was be like, I'll take care of it. I don't have to do it. I go, oh, this sounds like a great deal.
That's why it never made any sense to us because we both got tested. Numbers came back totally fine. Doctors couldn't explain it to us.
Yeah.
Now, I've never told the story that I went to go get tested to anybody in my entire... Not one person knows the story. I've told the story to myself in my head 1,000 times. I don't even know if I could tell it on a podcast because it's absolutely X-rated. And there's no way to tell the story unless I use like vulgar language. And anyway, so maybe one day I can tell that because it's also hilarious in my opinion. But regardless, we get that phone call, we make the trip, and now we have a little baby boy on our hands. Turned 7 weeks, I believe, today. So life as we know it is completely over, changed, flipped. I don't know what it is, and I'll tell you.
You name him Seven?
I wanted Seven. She wanted Soda. We couldn't agree, so we went with Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
Sebastian Moss.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Now, you have to take me through picking him up and then the process of flying back.
I'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
So today's Tuesday, so it's a week ago. We're there. we go to the person who's in charge of this. We go to her house. She runs like the adoptions agency in the state. And so they have Sebastian there. And we pick him up, and I'm holding him, and we take him back to our, we went back and forth. Like, what do we do? Do we get a hotel? Do we get an Airbnb? And the reason why that this is part of the conversation is because I don't know if I want to get a hotel, because what if the baby's going to lose his mind and cry the whole time? I'm going to feel bad. There was a point a week ago tonight where little baby Sebastian reached, I don't know how his lungs were capable. He's 9 pounds or whatever it is. I don't know how it's possible for a little creature to get to that decibel level with the screaming. Forget about his face being like as red as a fire hydrant. His face was as purple as an eggplant. And it just, the whole time. Just, I looked at Lorraine at one point, and I wasn't even joking. And I just said, I want to give him back. That's what I said to her. Oh. And she's like, she wants to kill me still for that comment. But I will tell you, I told other friends of ours who have little babies, I made that comment, and they just said, absolutely. Every parent goes through that. And then you quickly realize, we don't know what the hell we're doing. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing the first time. All you can do is rely on other people who have been there, and then you maybe read some books for helpful hints. But boy,
what is the problem? Did he have the under in the Seattle game? Or I mean, what was it? What is it? Why is he crying all the time?
Hunger, lack of sleep, basically, or he needs his diaper changed. It's almost, or it could be like gas, and we try to work on the gas problem as well.
Yeah.
So it essentially comes down like 3 things. And oh, by the way, when we're on the runway on Tuesday, leaving Las Vegas.
Now this one.
And I hold on, no, we're not on the flight yet. I'm talking about leaving Las Vegas there. I'm like, I have to do some research right now. I got to get some golf bets in. So she's running every possible scenario. She's like this right here. Da, 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 da. And meanwhile, Wes, are you going to post your story at VSiN.com? I'm listening to podcasts. I'm like, I need a fire on the memorial here. I need some golf bets this weekend. And by the way, I was betting in the state the whole time because it's legal sports betting where we went. Anyway, so that's fast forward to coming back on Saturday, which is what we did eventually. And by the way, we thought we were originally going to have to be there until tomorrow.
No.
So like 10 days. And finally, like on, I think it was Friday night, they said, you can come back, you're good to go, you're cleared, you can go back on Saturday, Sunday, whatever. So we came back late Saturday night. I don't think I have been that nervous as an adult as for the flight back. First time ever with a newborn child. I mean, doesn't every new parent dread that idea? Who wants to be on a flight with a newborn kid or sit next to them? Nobody does. It's like one of the biggest fears. And for the parent, I mean, it's it's going to completely stink. So we flew back on Southwest. The people could not have been nicer or more welcome, more helpful. And that's another thing, by the way. Lorraine's calling it the golden ticket. The amount of people who go out of their way to help you when you realize that you have a newborn kid. I never knew that this was a thing.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God, Paul. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we're on the flight. Nobody sits next to us. Why? We have a newborn kid. We're sitting in the first row. There's an open seat. Very first row on the plane. Kid never cried for a second.
Come on.
Slept the entire time with the exception of maybe 2 minutes. Hinted that he had to go to the bathroom. Took him to the bathroom right away, changed a diaper. No, I couldn't believe it. I could not have paid somebody to say, I want the proof.
What a miracle.
I was a 10 out of 10 on a scale from being nervous.
Sure.
How are you not?
Yeah.
And he aced the flight. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was a perfect game out of him.
I would have said he's screaming for
who
minimum
wouldn't?
Half the flight.
Who wouldn't? So that was incredible. Lorraine also pointed out, because I'm like a complete idiot. And again, you have no idea what the hell you're doing, right? The first week that you get a kid, the first month, whatever it's going to be. We're at the airport. She's in line getting a couple of things at a store that she thinks she's going to need for the flight back. Here I am. I'm dropping the bottle. I'm dropping the pacifier. It's going all over. The amount of moms and women who came running over to help me out. They were tripping over each other. And Lorraine actually came out and said at one point, this is going to be a thing that hot, attractive women are going to be flocking to you now whenever you have the kid on your own. I'm like, well, that's a thing too? I said, I'm back.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But that's evidently going to... Anyway, so that was just and it was just everybody... Forget the airline for a second. It was where we were at, where we were staying. People were went out of their way to open doors, be kind, what do you need? I'm here to help, the whole thing. Never knew that was even a thing because I don't pay attention to this stuff. I never have, never wanted to.
You ready for all this? Because then it's going to escalate to I need help with my homework and take me to practice and all this.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know how to answer any of this stuff. Mm-hmm. You should see the diaper changings.
Is it like the dog? It's like, well, how does this little fella have it in him?
He had it all the way up his back yesterday.
Wow.
The poop. I had to change the diaper. It wouldn't end. I'm like, how do you get? I'm like, that's impressive, actually. And another thing that you can't prepare for, Paul, the mood and the emotions change every it goes from Disneyland to a war zone. Every 3 minutes. He's the happiest person on the planet.
Oh, really?
The smiles are amazing. And then all of a sudden, get the hell out of his way.
Yeah.
But it just
my Aunt Susie ran a daycare. Every time they would hand me the baby, the thing would cry. And I'm like, that's it. Here, take it. It's tough. When is it going to? Does it stop? Or what point does it stop?
I can't see it stopping ever. It's been 1 week.
5
God
years?
help us.